Welcome to this edition of the eClinicalWorks podcast. It cannot be overstated that patient safety is a high priority at eClinicalWorks. In recent years, eCW established the P1 process, organized a clinician advisory board, and implemented rigorous testing practices to prevent and address potential issues. But how quickly can you identify the number of lab results assigned to the staff member who left last month, or the percentage of uncoded allergies in your database? Practices themselves need ways to monitor their processes for patient safety concerns. And this is especially true lately as many healthcare providers are experiencing higher staff turnover rates. Now, to help with this important effort, eClinicalWorks includes a little-known tool with a big potential impact. And here to discuss the safety and compliance dashboard is Kunal Wagh. Kunal, thanks so much for taking the time to be here today.
Hey, Adam. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast. I'm really interested and excited to share some new things with the clients today.
Kunal, tell us about the safety and compliance dashboard and what motivates practices to use that feature.
Well, there are two main things that should motivate the practices to use this dashboard. So first of all is it helps certainly the practice to avoid any potential patient safety issues. Secondly, if there are any inactions performed in the practice, let's say there are some unlogged encounters where the providers have forgotten to log those, then this could certainly lead towards non-compliance. So the safety and compliance dashboard will help in these scenarios as well to identify them.
Well, safety is, of course, an important issue. Is this a tool that all customers have? Do they all have access to this dashboard, and how is it enabled?
Yes, all the customers have this dashboard enabled by default. And from every practice, the admins and co-admins, they have the access by default. But again, any user who would want to use, I would rather stress that they should use this dashboard on a daily basis, just a matter of a security setting, and they can just right away get the access and start using the dashboard.
Perfect. And of course, we know that most practices are encouraged to elect a patient safety officer. Maybe, like you said, maybe they check this once a day for red flags, things like that. But you can, of course, through security settings, give that to other team members as well. So that's good to know. Now, let's say that one of these users goes to visit the safety and compliance dashboard. Where are they going to find that? And what are they going to see when they first open that safety and compliance dashboard?
Well, to access the dashboard, the user will have to click on the top left menu button, click on Analytics, and there he will find the Safety and Compliance dashboard. Once they open up the dashboard, the very first thing they will notice is My Watch List. At first, it will be blank always. So what this My Watch List is, they will have to select some KPIs and mark them as their favorite KPIs. So that way, next time, whenever they open up the dashboard, they will start seeing those KPIs readily available on the screen. And we also have some toggle button there where they can toggle between My Watch List and all KPIs if they need. Secondly, we also show those KPIs with some number, like those numbers could be a count of some metric, or it could be a time, like average time of something, or a percentage-based KPI. And we will also show some beautiful trend charts so that users can understand what were the values in the past for those KPIs.
Well, there are a lot of KPIs in that dashboard. If I'm not mistaken, over 180 KPIs available today. What are some of the indicators practices might want to start with?
Well, one of the very basic KPIs is unlogged encounters, where all the providers can use this. So as I mentioned earlier, if the providers forget to log their encounters, and so this number could keep on piling up. So we have this KPI for unlogged encounters where we will show for every provider what's their count. Secondly, we also have some KPI like percentage uncoded allergies, wherein in the practice, they will get to know how many allergies out of total allergies are uncoded. And lastly, we also have a section of KPIs called as inaccessible tasks. So there are certain tasks which are assigned to users, and they could be like labs or procedures or documents or encounters, etc. And if those tasks are assigned to user who is inactive, or else they are out of office, or if they do not have access to these tasks, then they will be just sitting over there in the jelly bean. So what we thought, we should notify the admin of the practice of these tasks so that they can reassign them to some different users. so that there should not be any potential patient safety issue because of this. So this certainly helps the practices who are using this dashboard.
In other words, the lab result that came in could have been assigned to, Mary or James, who had left last month, and now it's just sitting there in that jelly bean. Nobody's really aware of it, and that could be a patient safety issue because there could be a lab value there that indicates that the patient really needs some sort of an intervention. That's a great thing for practices to be using. Now, what can I do, Kunal, to monitor these on an ongoing basis? Am I going to have to log into that dashboard and actively go look for this information every time, or is there something that's going to help me make sure I'm monitoring this on an ongoing basis?
Well, not really. So we have some smart settings on this dashboard. I'll talk about three fundamental settings. The first is every user can set their own alerts for each and every KPI. So even if they do not open up this dashboard, every morning when they open up the EMR in their mJelly bean, they will see the alert for the KPI if the KPI value has crossed certain threshold value, which the user will set. Secondly, we have completely redesigned threshold structure. Initially, we used to only have the absolute setting, but now we have introduced some statistical settings, such as the user can set the threshold based on the mean, median, or even the percentage. And last but not the least, the users can always click on the EVO reports. So we have developed reports for most of our KPIs, and this will certainly allow the user for the deeper investigation, where they will first of all see like who created those encounters, whom are those encounters assigned to, since how many days they are open, etc. So this will certainly help them.
Are there anything new here in the works for the patient safety and compliance dashboard in version 12?
Yeah, certainly. So we are planning on adding a couple of new KPIs, like progress notes, outbound interface pending, and outbound interface failures. And plus, we can also have some new KPIs coming up. These KPIs keep coming up every month or so. Then we also have some new features, like we have redesigned the watch list screen entirely, so the user can easily search for the KPIs in every category. Secondly, we have a new concept as safety and compliance dashboard report. This report will be used by the admin of the practice, and they can schedule this report. Like even if they do not want to access the dashboard, they can still see this report in their mJelly bean based on daily, weekly, monthly frequency. And what this report will show them is how many KPIs beyond the threshold are not performing that well, or how many users have logged in and seen this safety and compliance dashboard. So these are some new features out of many that we are going to introduce.
Well, that section sounds like a lot of really great functionality coming down the road with version 12. That's great to hear. Now, how can people who are watching this podcast learn more about the dashboard and its metrics?
Well, we have some amazing trainings and webinars which go out monthly for this dashboard, and practices, the users are more than welcome to attend those webinars. Secondly, we have curated some user guides which are available today on the support portal. So what these user guides will tell is they describe in-depth workflow of the entire dashboard, plus how each KPI is getting calculated on the dashboard. So these are also available on support portal, and every user can utilize this dashboard based on these guides.
Fantastic. So user guides are there on my.ecw, and webinars are going on all the time. That's great to hear. Kunal, thank you so much for sharing the information about the patient safety and compliance dashboard. I think that's a really important tool that practices should go check out right now if they haven't done so already. Thank you for the time, Kunal.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Please, I would request all the users to use this dashboard. It will certainly help them.
Absolutely. Now, if you'd like to learn more about the topics we discussed here today, you can visit my.eClinicalWorks.com and check for those documents and webinars that Kunal mentioned. You can also talk with your strategic account manager or your business development relationship manager. And be sure to check out our other episodes on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and eClinicalWorks.com. For the eClinicalWorks podcast, I'm Adam Salati, and thanks for watching.